Have fun with it, have fun with it.
Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments. For this is the whole duty of man.
All right, so when it's all said and done, we must keep God's commandments, all right? As long as that's at our focus, we'll be all right. All right, let's go to the first scripture. It's going to be Romans chapter 15 and 14. All right, let's see what Paul says about his brothers, all right? How he says, well, what kind of support and what kind of belief he has in his righteous brothers. Give me that.
Romans chapter 15 verse 14. And I myself also am persuaded of you, my brethren, that ye also are full of goodness, filled with all knowledge, able also to admonish one another.
To admonish one another. All right, admonish simply means to encourage, and it also means to rebuke when situations arise. He said with all knowledge, and the true knowledge, Malachi 2 and 7, is these laws. Right. So when situations arise, we ought to deal with knowledge with our brothers and sisters. All right, give me Ephesians chapter 4 verse 26. All right, because me myself dealt with anger and wrath. All right, so the key thing is when somebody does offend you. All right, you can get okay, you will get angry because you are human. Even the Most High God, he has that emotion. He's been angry before. But what's the key? Read that.
Ephesians chapter 4 verse 26. Be ye angry and sin not.
And do what?
And sin not.
All right, why? Because you have the knowledge. You have God's laws. You now know that you're an Israelite and you must keep God's laws. So yeah, you will feel anger, but that's no excuse to sin. All right. From there, let's go to Sirach chapter 3 and 24. All right. Now, the reason I'm bringing out this scripture is because Satan likes to play on people's minds. All right, he likes to create strife when there's nothing really there. All right, give me that.
Sirach chapter 3 verse 24. For many are deceived by their own vain opinions.
Many people are deceived by their own vain opinions. So let's say, for an example, you feel offended, right? But your brother or sister really may have not even done nothing. They might have said, they might have been short with you because they were in haste. They needed to go somewhere, but you took it. Why is this female or this dude being short with me? Right. They can't treat me like everybody else. So read it again.
For many are deceived by their own vain opinion.
By many are deceived by their own vain opinion. You can ask this brother. I know, for example, I know for a fact I always dealt with anger and wrath. All right. And I always looked into things a little deeper than I should have. So as a repentant Israelite, what am I going to do? This brother, he's always been good with it. So I say, brother, am I tripping right now? Right. Am I looking too deep into this, man? Could you help me out? Because, read it again.
For many are deceived by their own vain opinion.
Now that I know this scripture, I ain't going to trust my mind. Right. The mind is wicked, deceitfully wicked. All right? Right. Matter of fact, get that. Let's get that thing. Because you got to be real with yourselves, Israel. All right. So we are in the perspective of the person who feels offended right now. All right. Give me that.
Jeremiah chapter 17 verse 9. The heart is deceitful above all things.
All right. So now that you're an Israelite, you know that your heart is deceitful above all things. Mark 7 and 21 gives you a list of the things that your mind is capable of thinking. Right. All right. From there, let's go to Matthew chapter 5 verse 22. All right, because we can't deal with our brothers and sisters like this. Will you feel these feelings? Yes, but you know you have to deal with it a certain way. Matthew 5 and 22.
Matthew chapter 5 verse 22. But I say unto you that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause.
Without what?
Without a cause.
So that's your mind playing tricks on you. The devil playing on your mind. Read it again.
But I say unto you that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment.
Shall be in danger of the judgment. So you have to get yourself right. You need to literally sit back. You need to get counsel. You need to go to that brother or that sister. You need to make sure there's nothing there because you don't want to be angry. Now you acting different around his brother or sister without cause.
And they don't even know what's going on.
Exactly. I've done that before. All right. I've failed. So what am I trying to share to my people? I'm trying to correct myself and I'm trying to help my brothers and sisters do the same. Right. From there, give me Proverbs chapter 10, verse 11.
Proverbs chapter 10, verse 11.
Uh-huh.
The mouth of a righteous man is a well of life.
Uh-huh.
But violence covereth the mouth of the wicked.
But violence covereth the mouth of the wicked. So the unrighteous man, he likes strife. He likes to sow discord among the brethren. All right, read on.
Hatred stirreth up strife.
Hatred does what?
Hatred stirreth up strife.
So if you hate your brother, man, having hate is the same as murdering your brother. So read it again.
Hatred stirreth up strife.
Uh-huh.
But love covereth all sin.
All right, hatred, having that murder spirit in your heart is going to keep the strife going. But God's laws is going to correct that situation. Okay? From there, let's go to Psalms 119 and 113. All right, because after you get the proper knowledge and the understanding, you must get these type of thoughts out of your mind. All right, give me that 119 and 113.
Psalms 119, verse 113.
Uh-huh.
I hate vain thoughts.
What did David say?
I hate vain thoughts.
He said he hates these vain thoughts because he knows how the devil can play in your mind. Read.
But thy law do I love.
But thy what?
But thy law do I love.
That's the medicine. God's laws is what's going to correct us in these times. All right. From there, let's go to Matthew 5 and 43. All right. Because, you know, when people offend you, you look at them a certain way. You may look at them as your actual enemy. He's like, this brother keeps offending me, man. I'm tired of this brother. But he's still your brother at the end of the day. Read that.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 43. Ye have heard that it hath been said, thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thine enemy.
Read on.
But I say unto you, love your enemies. Bless them that curse you, and do good to them that hate you. Pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you.
All right, so, hey, there's some people that you think in the truth that's really not for the Most High. You got people stealing from brothers. You got people sleeping with people's wives and taking advantage of your hospitality and charity. All right, but the Most High says, love your enemies. All right, we ain't talking about the other nations. Give me that in 1 Samuel chapter 18 and 29.
1 Samuel chapter 18 verse 29. And Saul was yet the more afraid of David.
So Saul and David, these are two Israelites, one from the tribe of Benjamin, one from the tribe of Judah. Right. Read.
And Saul became David's enemy.
His what?
Enemy.
His enemy. So that's what it's talking about. All right, it's not talking about the other nations. It's talking about your brothers and sisters in this truth. All right, that is of the seed. All right. From there, let's go to 2 Corinthians 13 and 5. Gotcha. So we're building up. This is the person who has been offended, right? So we're building up to what that brother or that sister needs to do. All right, get rid of all these thoughts that's going through your head. All right, because that's nothing but Satan playing on your mind. Give me this.
2 Corinthians chapter 13 verse 5. Examine yourself.
Do what?
Examine yourself.
So you need to take a step back, look at yourself, go to the law to cut yourself, right, to show yourself that, yeah, you going off. All right, I need to do this even though it hurts. It's like, this really hurts, but you need to do it anyway. Read.
Prove your own self. Know you not your own self?
So you know yourself. If you know you dealt with this, if you know you had an anger problem or a wrath problem, you should know that. And you should know what's best for you. You should know you need to get around righteous brothers and sisters to get counsel so you can get through the situation. Read.
Know ye not your own selves, how that Jesus Christ is in you, except ye be reprobates.
Except you be reprobates. Except you be in the same situation and the Most High God sent a delusion on you, you forget that you're even an Israelite. All right. From there, let's go to Matthew 6 and 14. All right, because you must understand, if you can't forgive your brother or sister, how you think the Most High is going to forgive you? Right. All right, give me that. Go ahead and give me Matthew chapter 6 verse 14.
Matthew chapter 6 verse 14. For if you forgive men their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. So
if you quick to forgive, the Most High God, He quick to forgive. Right. Read.
But if you forgive not men their trespasses.
So if you let your spirit and your mind play on these wicked thoughts, man, if you just stay in that state and you never mend that broken relationship between you and your brother, read.
Neither will your Father forgive your trespasses.
You will not get the kingdom. So it hurts, but we have to suck it up. All right. From there, let's go to Matthew 18. So we went through all of that, leading up to all that thought process, going through the law, getting counsel. But now it's time. It's time to bring it to that brother. All right, so y'all can heal. Read.
15.
Yeah, I'm sorry, 18 and 15.
Matthew chapter 18, verse 15. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. So you start off, you go to that brother so you can tell him what happened. Like, brother, this did offend me, man. This sister, this did offend me. Read. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. So if you stops right there, all praises. But it doesn't always go like that. All right, read on. But if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more, that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, every word may be established. All right, so if they don't want to hear you, now you have witnesses, okay? So there can be no lying there. Read. And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church. But if he neglect to hear the church, let him be unto thee as a heathen man and a publican. All right, so sometimes it may come to that, but you have to make sure, no matter what, that you are keeping God's laws. All right, even if they don't want to admit to their faults, sometimes it's going to be like that. But you have to be faultless. That's what's commanded of us. So you did your part. If they don't want to admit to it, or if they don't want to apologize, let that person be. But you did it, thus saith the Lord. All right. From there, let's go to James 1 and 19. Now, we're going to be, so we just did the offended perspective. Now we're going to do the offendee, the person who may have offended you. So let's look at their perspective. Give me that. James chapter 1 verse 19. Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear. Swift to hear. So when his brother's bringing it out to you, listen to him. Read. Slow to speak. And slow to speak. I'm like, brother, I didn't mean to do it. Like, just listen to what he's saying, because the reason why you offended him is because you didn't know what offended the brother. So you need to listen. Read. Slow to wrath. For the wrath of a man worketh not the righteousness of God. Exactly. So don't on the flip side, because you already offended him, now you get mad at this brother for sharing it with you. All right. So take your time. Actually listen to the brother before speaking, or the brother or the sister. All right. From there, give me Psalms 141 and 5. Now, let's say if you were wrong, all right, and you know you were wrong, this scripture is for you. If you've dealt with a brother wrongly and they bring it to you, just sit back and let that correction happen. Give me that. Psalms 141 verse 5. Let the righteous smite. Let them do what? Let the righteous smite me. Why does it say that? Because correction doesn't always feel good. All right, so it's saying let the righteous smite me. Read. It shall be a kindness, and let him reprove me. It shall be as an excellent oil, which shall not break my head. For yet my prayer also shall be in their calamity. Because that's the kindness that you need. Now, the brother not telling you nothing, no, that's not kindness, that's hate. Because you're going to keep doing the same thing. But that's the type of correction, that's the type of love we want from our brothers and sisters. All right, from there, let's go to Romans 12 and 15. All right, so this is from the dude that offended that person. So the brothers or sisters opening up to you and trying to really gain you, and saying that this offended me. This is what we need to do. Give me that. Romans chapter 12 verse 15. Rejoice with them that do rejoice. Read. And weep with them that weep. So if this really offended them and it brings them to tears or emotional, consider that. Don't be like, nigga, what you crying for? Sister, what you, don't be like that. All right. It says on the back end of that, weep with them. Weep with them that weep. So you need to be sympathetic. All right, actually have some compassion for your brother or sister, that it is bothering them, that you even care enough to sympathize with them. Read on. Be of the same mind. Be of the what? Be of the same mind. Be of the same mind. Read. One toward another. Mind not high things, but condescend to men of low estate. All right, don't be high-minded. Don't say like, hey, I'm really ain't even trying to hear all that. No. Relate to the brother or sister. All right, from there. Finish that. Be not wise in your own conceit. Do what? Be not wise in your own conceit. Be not wise in your own conceit. All right, don't go off on your own vain opinion, just like Sirach 3 and 24 said. All right, from there, let's go to Zechariah 7 and 9 to go along with Romans 12 and 15. All right, to show you how you're supposed to be with your brothers and sisters. All right. Zechariah 12 and 9. Yes, sir. Zechariah chapter 12 and verse 9. I'm so sorry, 7 and 9. Excuse me. 7 and 9. I think you said it right. All right. Thus speaketh the Lord of hosts, saying, execute true judgment, and show mercy and compassion every man to his brother.
Show mercy and compassion, every man to his brothers and sisters. That's how we need to be. Why? We are the sons and daughters of God. We are not niggas and spicks anymore. So if your brother's feelings are hurt, that should be something big. You should be like, dang, like how are we going to rebuild this nation when we got strife and envyings going amongst the body, right, and we can't even be on one accord? If somebody new coming in, how in the world are we going to go further? Right. So you need to be compassionate and show mercy to each other. From there, let's go to Colossians 3 and 12. All right, how to deal with strife and quarrels and disagreements in the body between your brothers and sisters.
Colossians chapter 3 and verse 12. Put on therefore as the elect of God.
So it says, realize that you are a son, a daughter of God. Read.
Holy and beloved, bowels of mercies, kindness, humbleness of mind.
Read.
Meekness, long suffering, forbearing one another, and forgiving one another.
And forgiving one another. Here's the point. Read.
If any man have a quarrel against any.
So if any man have a disagreement or argument against any, read.
Even as Christ forgave you, so also do ye.
Didn't Matthew 6 just say the same thing?
Say the same thing.
Read on.
And above all these things, put on charity.
Put on what?
Put on charity.
Charity. All right, be charitable. Relate to that person. Be hospitable. Read.
Which is the bond of perfectness.
Perfectness. What is perfection according to the law? I mean, just keeping God's laws. I'm sorry. 1 Kings 8:61. That's perfection according to the Bible. Keeping God's laws. All right. From there, let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 12, and I'll start at verse 20.
1 Corinthians 12 and 20.
Yes, sir.
1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 20. But now are there many members, but yet one body.
So if you read down, you're going to get the whole perspective, all right? The ear can't agree. The ear, the eye, the foot, the knee, everything has to be on one accord in order to work as one body, all right? I just wanted to get that point, but let's go to jump down to verse 25 for the sake of time.
Verse 25. That there should be no schism in the body.
There should be no what?
There should be no schism in the body.
There should be no schism in the body. Think about it. Say if you are really hungry, right? And your arms just decide to stop working. How in the world are you going to get some food, brother?
I don't know.
That's a big schism in the body, right?
It is.
You got to think about that thing. That's how we got to look at our brothers and sisters. If we're not on one accord, we cannot get the job done. All right? And if we don't want to get the job done, the Most High God is going to put somebody else there to get the job done. All right, read 25 again.
That there should be no schism in the body, but that the members should have the same care, one for another.
One for other. This person is just as important as me. I'm nothing without this person. So that's how we should be amongst brothers and sisters. From there, let's go to 1 Corinthians 13 and 1. Touch on charity.
1 Corinthians chapter 13 verse 1. Though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels and have not charity, I am become as sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal.
So Paul says, though he speaks with the tongues of men and of angels, he has all of this knowledge. But he says, and have not charity, he has become as a sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. Read on.
And though I have the gift of prophecy and understanding all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith, so that I can remove mountains and have not charity, I am nothing.
Why is he nothing? Because he's only one man. This is a nation. All right, he understands that he's only one man in a whole nation. All right, there's no respecters of persons in Israel. He understood that. All right, from there, let's go to Sirach. I'm sorry, 1 Thessalonians 5, and then we're going to go to Sirach 25 and 1. I want to go to 1 Thessalonians 5 and start at verse 12.
1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 12. And we beseech you, brethren, to know them which labor among you, and are over you in the Lord, and admonish you, and to esteem them very highly in love for their work's sake, and be at peace among yourselves. Now
go back to verse 12. I want to touch on the point.
Verse 12. And we beseech you, brethren, to know them which labor among you.
All right, so those who labor in this truth among you, your brothers and sisters, those are the people that you will have disagreements with. All right, read.
And are over you in the Lord, and admonish you.
And admonish you and correct you and deal with you and build you up. Read.
And to esteem them very highly in love for their work's sake.
Read.
And be at peace among yourselves.
And do what?
And be at peace among yourselves.
And be at peace among yourselves. How do you be at peace? When strife comes up, you know that according to the law, you have to work that thing out.
Right.
I want to touch on a precept that slips on mine. It's in James.
James chapter 4 and verse 1. From which come wars and fightings among you. Come they not hence, even of your lust that war in your members?
So that's how strifes and disagreements come. Because you worrying about yourself more than the next man. All right. And 1 Thessalonians 5, it just told us to be at peace. All right. So how can you be at peace when you steadily worrying about yourself? All right, let's go back to 1 Thessalonians. It was verse 14, was that?
Yep. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 14. Now we exhort you, brethren, warn them that are unruly. Comfort the feeble-minded.
So it says, warn them that are unruly. Admonish means to rebuke them jokers that are unruly. Those are the people sowing discord. Brother, no, you can't do that. All right, sister, you can't treat your sister like that or your brothers like that. Read.
Comfort the feeble-minded. Support the weak. Be patient toward all men.
Be patient toward all men. That's how you keep the peace. All right, if you're not patient, you're going to blast that brother or sister with the quickness. Because a lot of Israel, we've been sick. We're very sick right now. All right, because we learned all the ways of America. All right, so it takes some time for certain brothers and sisters to adapt to righteousness. All right, so that's why we must be patient so we can have peace. All right, from there, let's go to Sirach 25 and 1.
Sirach chapter 25 in verse 1. In 3 things I was beautified, instead of beautiful, both before God and men.
Read.
The unity of brethren.
The unity of brethren.
The love of neighbors. A man and a wife that agree together.
So that's a beautiful thing in the eyes of the Most High God. That everybody in Israel be on one accord. Okay? From there, let's go to Romans 15 and 4. We're going to go visit a story in the law, all right, to show you an example how we should be patient, how we should be forgiving, how we should be loving. Why? Because we know what it's about. We know that this is to rebuild the nation of Israel.
Right.
All right. Yeah. Actually, before Romans 15 and 4, read John 1 and 12.
Gotcha.
All right.
John chapter 1 and verse 12. But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of God.
To become the sons of God. Read.
Even to them that believe on his name.
What does it mean to believe? Sirach 32 and 24 says to believe is to keep God's commandments. The laws were only given to the Israelites, so only the Israelites can truly believe. Okay? Now, that's how we need to look at our brothers and sisters as sons and daughters of God. All right, now we're going to get to the full point of that later on in the lesson, but let's go to Romans 15 and 4 first.
Romans chapter 15 verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
All right, so let's go to something that was written aforetime. All right, give me Genesis.
Genesis chapter 37 and verse 1.
Right.
And Jacob dwelt in the land wherein his father was a stranger, in the land of Canaan. These are the generations of Jacob. Joseph, being 17 years old, was feeding the flock with his brother. And the lad was with the sons of Bilhah, and with the sons of Zilpah, his father's wives. And Joseph brought unto his father their evil report. Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children.
All right, so Israel, all right, he loved Joseph more than all of the other 12 sons, the other 11 sons. Read.
Because he was the son of his old age, and he made him a coat of many colors.
So he made him a coat that he was so proud of his son Joseph. All right, he was very fond of him. All right, read on.
And when his brethren saw their father loved him more than all his brethren, they hated him.
They did what?
They hated him.
They hated him. So what happened? This is discord. All right, they hated their brother. Read.
And could not speak peaceably unto him.
All right, so they hated this, but every time his name was brought, I hate that nigga, man. I can't stand this joker, man. Every time something happens, dad always looking at this brother, man. I can't stand that brother. Now let's see what leaning to your own vain thoughts is gonna get you to do to your own physical blood brother. Let's jump up to verse 23.
Verse 23. And it came to pass, when Joseph was come unto his brother, that they stripped Joseph out of his coat.
Because they had so much hate for the brother. Now they they stole his coat. Read.
His coat of many colors that was on him. And they took him and cast him into a pit. The pit was empty. There was no water in it.
Read.
And they sat down to eat bread. And they lifted up their eyes and looked, and behold, a company of Ishmaelites.
A company of Ishmaelites, so-called Arabs today.
From Gilead, with their camels, bearing spicery and balm and myrrh, going to carry it down to Egypt.
Read.
And Judah said unto his brethren, what profit if we slay our brother and conceal his blood?
Read.
Come, and let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and let not our hand be upon him.
Because it was actually worse. They were just going to kill their brother. But Judah, Judah had to say it. I'm just playing. But Judah, he said that, you know what, let's not kill the brother. What's the point of that? So he says, let's just sell him to these Arabs. Read.
For he is our brother and our flesh, and his brethren were content.
Read.
Then they passed by the Midianites' merchantmen, and they drew and lifted up Joseph out of the pit, and sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver.
So, I'm sorry, so let's stop right there. So what just happened, all right? Joseph was favored by his father. His brothers, they were offended by that. They got so mad that they sold their brother into slavery, basically. All right? So later on, Joseph, what does he do? He goes to Egypt. He becomes a great man in Egypt. So, chapters go on. There's a great drought where the Israelites are at right now, right? So they take a trip to Egypt, and they actually meet their brother, but they didn't know it was their brother. So we're going to jump to the second trip, all right? And after, we're going to jump to the point where Joseph reveals himself to his brothers, all right? Just for the sake of time. Give me Genesis chapter 41, and we're going to, 45, start at verse 1.
45 and 1?
Yeah, start right there.
Genesis chapter 45, verse 1. Then Joseph could not refrain himself before all them that stood by him. And he cried, because every man to go out from me. There stood no man with him, while Joseph made himself known unto his brothers. So
now he made himself known. He said, hey, brothers, it's me, Joseph, the brother you sold. All right, because the first time, they didn't know who he was. All right, read.
And he wept aloud, and the Egyptians and the house of Pharaoh heard. And Joseph said unto his brethren, I am Joseph. Doth my father yet live? And his brethren could not answer him, for they were troubled at his presence.
All right, so now they're like, oh my goodness, this is my actual brother that I sold. So now they're troubled in their spirit. They're emotional right now. Read.
And Joseph said unto his brethren, come near to me, I pray you. And they came near. And he said, I am Joseph your brother, whom ye sold into Egypt.
Read.
Now therefore, be not grieved, nor angry with yourselves, that ye sold me hither. For God did send me before you to preserve life.
To preserve life, read.
For these 2 years hath the famine been in the land, and yet there are 5 years in which there shall neither be earing nor harvest.
Read.
And God sent me before you to preserve you a posterity in the earth.
Read.
And to save your lives by a great deliverance.
And to save your lives by a great deliverance. So Joseph could have been pissed when he seen his brothers like, hey, Egyptian guard, kill these niggas. He could have said that. But what did he do? He was like, oh my goodness, it's my brothers. They offended the crap out of me. They sold me, but still he had love and compassion for his brothers. Why? Read verse 7 again.
Verse 7. And God sent me before you to preserve you a posterity in the earth, and to save your lives by a great deliverance.
By a great deliverance. So let's think about that today. Why should we overcome? Why should we make amends and come back with our brothers and sisters? Why? Give me Zephaniah 2 and 1. All right. Let's put this in the same way that Joseph did with his brothers. Why? Because he knew that the Israelites are God's chosen people, and he had a purpose for the Israelites. So he understood that the Most High God allowed him to get sold into slavery to the Egyptians for all of this to happen. He understood that. So we read in John 1 and 12 that we are the sons and daughters of God. Now let's get a better understanding of the same picture. Read that.
Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourselves together.
He did what?
Gather yourselves together.
The Most High God says, Israelites, gather yourselves together. So after he seen his brothers again, what did he do? He gathered together. He said, go get Israel, bring him back. He brought all of the Israelites into Egypt. Gather together, read.
Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
So here in our captivity, spread across the four corners of the earth, we're not desired. So right now is the time to gather ourselves together, not stay on bad terms. All right, we need to get over that, because read Genesis 45 and 7 one more time for me.
Genesis chapter 45 and verse 7. And God sent me before you to preserve you a posterity in the earth, and to save your lives by a great deliverance.
By a great deliverance. All right, from there, give me Jeremiah 16 and 14. Because the Most High God, He commanded us to gather ourselves together because there's another great deliverance that's coming as well.
Right.
All right, so we must make sure that we are on peace. We are with peace amongst one another and on one accord. Give me that.
Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 14. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that it shall be no more said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt.
All right, so that first great deliverance already happened, all right? But there's going to be another deliverance. Read that.
But the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north.
The land of the north, all right? Known as Mystery Babylon, North America, all right? Read.
From all the lands, whither he had driven them. And I will bring them again into their land, that I gave unto their fathers.
All right, that's it on that. All right, so Israel, we must realize that this is so much bigger than what it looks like.
Right.
All right, we are out here rebuilding a nation. So whenever offenses occur, and they will occur, we are to deal with them, thus saith the Lord.
Right.
All right, give me Deuteronomy 4 and 9.
And before you go there, give me Matthew 11 and 6. Because what the officer is saying is right on. All right, what was the title of the lesson again?
If thou offend.
If thou offend. So, dealing as us being Israelites, all right, a lot of times what you're going to be offended with is the scriptures. All right, well, I would pray it would be the scriptures. And if a brother is bringing out scriptures, this is what you should apply. Read that.
Matthew chapter 11 verse 6. And blessed is he.
And what?
Blessed is he.
Blessed is he. Read.
Whosoever shall not be offended.
Shall what?
Shall not be offended in me.
You see that? Don't be offended. And that's really pertaining to correction. Because he read in Psalms 141 that he said, let the righteousness smite. Let that correction smite you. And don't become offended in that, brothers and sisters. Don't fall out because you can't take correction. The correction is good for you. That's the only way you're going to get over our sins. Alright? Just wanted to make sure I added that.
All praises. Alright, then we're going to close it out. Yeah, it's just time. It's time to do it. Alright, Lord's will. You can use some of these scriptures if you didn't have them before to deal with your brother and sisters in righteousness. Give me that.
Deuteronomy chapter 4 verse 9. Only take heed to thyself and keep thy soul diligently, lest thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen, and lest they depart from thy heart all the days of thy life.
All right, so what you've seen and heard today, you must be diligent. You must go over these scriptures and apply them to your everyday life. All right, read.
But teach them thy sons and thy sons' sons.
From there, give me 1 Samuel chapter 2 verse 3.
Gotcha.
All right. Israel's no more talking. It's all about actions. All right, let's close with this.
1 Samuel chapter 2 verse 3. Talk no more so exceeding proudly. Let not arrogancy come out of your mouth. For the Lord is a God of knowledge, and by him actions are weighed.
All right, so when disagreements come, apply the scriptures. All right, with that, we say shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom, Israel. I'm Elder Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. YouTube likes to shut our channels down, as some of you have noticed, ever so often. Subscribing to join IUIC will assure you will always stay connected to our YouTube accounts. We want to do our best to make sure this truth gets out. Please click and join our subscriber YouTube channel called Join IUIC to stay linked to all of our videos. So again, please make sure you subscribe to this Join IUIC channel to get your latest updates from all our YouTube channels.